Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. Now, around 6 months ago, I shared with you an anti-aging skincare hack that I learned from TikTok, combining the Ordinary Matrixyl with the Ordinary Argireline Solution 10% together in your skincare routine to kind of mimic the outcomes from botox. I was super skeptical that this would actually work, but I put it to the test and honestly, I was wowed by the results. Since then, that video has kind of gone semi-viral and so many people have reached out and discovered the Mad About Skin channel through that video and the content. But if you read through the comments on that, a lot of people are saying, okay, we definitely want to try this, but how do we successfully incorporate this into our skincare routine? How do we use it? And that's really what I want to cover off in today's video. I'm going to be running through my morning skincare routine where I use these two powerful peptides to deliver some great anti-aging benefits. So sit back, relax, and let's talk how to use the Ordinary Argireline and Matrixyl together. Now, before we get into this video, I would love to know, have you tried this hack out for yourself? Have you put these two powerful peptides through their paces using them together in your skincare routine? If you have, sound off in the comments section below and let me know what outcomes you've achieved. Over on the Mad About Skin Facebook group, so many people have been putting this to the test and been genuinely impressed with the results. I hope you get the same amazing outcomes that I've done, but if you buy these two together, it costs roughly around $15, so they're certainly not break the bank price points to be able to put them to the test and see what this hack is all about. I'm going to be using these as part of my morning skincare routine, and all of the products mentioned in today's video are linked in the description box below. Some of those links are affiliate links for which the channel will get a small percentage of commission. In the months of March and April, all of the commission generated here on Mad About Skin will be donated to the Red Cross Appeal to help the humanitarian crisis over in Ukraine. I'll be doubling, matching pound for pound all of the commission money that we receive, so we can do the absolute most to help those that are less fortunate than ourselves. Of course, if you don't want to shop using the links, that's absolutely fine and totally up to you, but if you did, you'll just be giving a little extra coin to those that need it most, alongside enjoying some fantastic skincare. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, and I'm reaching out to you wherever you are in the world with the world's biggest hug. Now, with all that being said, shall we cut the waffle and just delve straight on in? Now, off camera, I actually cleansed using the Hylamide cleanser. This I'm putting through its paces because the Decim currently have a 60% off sale on this product at the moment, which I thought was too good to miss out on, so I put one on order. It's a really nice cleanser. Certainly I'd say it gets everything off the skin, works in the way of like a traditional oil cleanser, but it doesn't really leave a film on the skin, which I enjoy. I've left a link with the code that you need to use if you do want to get your 60% off in the description box below. I think, if you want to try this one out, now is the time with that saving. I wouldn't say it's like the best oil cleanser that I've ever reached for, but it certainly did the job and felt really nice on the skin. Of course, afterwards I like a light exfoliation, and for that I'm going to be reaching for this. This is the lactic acid 10% plus hyaluronic acid. Such a great product. You guys always hear me bang on about this. One of my favourite exfoliators. I feel it's like the best for giving that ultra glow up to the skin, while it's been super gentle. Lactic acid's also humectant, so it'll hydrate at the same time as giving you a great exfoliation. I just put this all over the skin about 3 times a week. I don't like to over exfoliate because I think that's where you can, risk redness, peeling, sensitivity and irritation. So 3 times a week is kind of that sweet spot with my particular skin when it comes to exfoliation, and the lactic acid 10% has been so good. I'll let that just sink into the skin, get to work before I move on to the rest of my steps. But a brief summary of why I think this hack is so good. So these two peptides have different benefits. The Argireline works specifically on dynamic fine lines and wrinkles. Those are the ones caused by movement, which is why I think it's often called like botox in a bottle. Kind of mimics the outcomes you'll get from botox, but being less invasive. In truth, you don't get the same outcomes, but you definitely do get a nice anti-aging benefit, which I adore. The Ordinary Matrixyl, on the other hand, is a fantastic all-round mixture of peptides, which will not only hydrate you to the gods, plump out the skin, but also in the long term can have some collagen boosting benefits to it. So with these two, you'll have the instant smoothing out of the fine lines and wrinkles for the Argireline. You'll also have that plumping, that nice glow up and dewiness to the complexion from the Matrixyl. And when you combine the two, that's just like a powerful anti-aging combination that delivers really quick wins for the skin, that like instant fix we all crave, but does also have some long-term benefits. I'm going to be talking about that as we go through the video, but now that exfoliator has just sunk in and got to work, I'm now going to neutralize everything, bring the pH back. The reason that I do this is because peptides, whether it's these by The Ordinary or any in general, tend to not like a low pH environment which is caused by any exfoliation. exfoliating acids. You can get around that and still use them in the same routine by just buffering between your exfoliator and any peptide products you want to use. Any single serum or toner with a skin neutral pH of around 5.5 will work. Today I'm using this. This is a liquid hydration by Geek and Gorgeous, one of my absolute favourites. And a couple of sprays of this will just get everything equalised and just make sure that all of the rest of the products apply nicely to the skin. That feels so cooling. I always keep this in the fridge for that instant cooling sensation on the skin, and it adds a little extra hydration. Buffering is great because, like I said, it rebalances the skin's pH, but also I just find all serums go and apply better onto damp skin, so this is just a really, really good thing to do. So first of all, I apply a little of the Argireline solution on those dynamic fine line areas. I'll explain why I do this as we go along. So for me, I target this, which is like the forehead frowns, just in the centre of the eyebrows. I'll then use the laughter lines, which are here, and the crow's feet at the side of the eyes. Now, this product is a little bit on the watery side, so you do have to, I feel like after you've used it a couple of times, you can get used to that texture. It's a little bit more on the watery side, which can be a little bit difficult to use. But I apply on that and then just let that sink in. Now, the reason I do that is because I like to really target down on those dynamic fine lines and wrinkles, let that get to work. I'll then be mixing the two in the palm of my hand and applying it to the rest of the skin, so you kind of get that benefits, but I find this way you get the maximum anti-aging boost. One top tip is never forget the area between the eyebrows. This is where you'd normally have botox done, and if you just do it in this particular area rather than across the whole forehead, it kind of gives a little bit of a brow lift. Now, I was super skeptical as to whether this would actually work, because you know what, this isn't botox. This is not as well studied as botox. You're not going to get exactly the same outcomes, but I thought, let's try it and see. If you compare it and contrast my eyebrows now to what they look like in that original video when I first discovered this hack, which I'll leave a link to up there, you should be able to see the difference. I actually find that I get a decent amount of lift on the brow. It just helps with any sagging and hooding that you might have in the eyes. And whilst it's not the same as Botox, and I don't want anyone to be under that impression, I've definitely noticed the benefits. Check back on that other video and see if you can kind of a side-by-side comparison. If, like me, you can see the difference, because I certainly can. Now, once that's sunk in, I'll then apply a couple of drops of the Matrixyl into the palm of my hand. If I can get the top off, there we go. You see, this is sort of professionalism of what you're here for. So a couple of drops of the Matrixyl into the palm of my hand. I'll then add another couple of drops of that Argireline solution, again, into the palm and mix them together. I'll then apply that all over the skin. This is beautiful. It gives you like that instant dewiness to the skin. It gives a nice plumping. It hydrates you to the gods, and it feels so, so good. By putting a little of the Argireline on first and then applying in combination afterwards, I feel that's where you get the maximum impact in terms of targeting those fine lines and wrinkles. You can skip that first step and just mix them together and apply them to the skin, but I think for that one extra step of a very inexpensive product, that's how you get the maximum anti-aging benefit. That sinks in really, really quickly, and then I proceed with the rest of my skincare routine. I keep it super simple in the morning because you know what, usually I wake up late, I'm running out of the door. So once that's all sunk in, I'll then give a couple of extra spritz of the Geek and Gorgeous. Again, just to keep everything hydrated and to allow the rest of the serums I'm going to apply to sink in that a little bit better. Then going with this is the Mad About Skin Got You Covered Super Serum, which I created for those lazy mornings where you want it all in one. This has got azelaic acid in here, you've got your antioxidant fix, you've got some nice calming and soothing botanicals, panthenol, you've got urea to soften the skin and hydrate. It's just an all-round amazing serum. I know that's going to come in from me, and I'm a little bit biased because I created this, but honestly, it just works so, so well on the skin. If you wanted to get your hands on this, I've left a link, as I will all the products, in the description box below, and you can use the code MASFAMILY, all capital letters, all one word, to get 15% off. Free shipping to the UK, reduced shipping to Europe, and track shipping to the rest of the world, so you know exactly where your parcel is. 2 drops of this is more than enough on my oily, acne-prone skin. If you have a dry skin type, you might want to go in with 3 or 4 drops. It just all depends on what your skin needs. This blends beautifully with those peptides, and I find it just gives that extra boost of hydration, really juices up and plumps up the skin, which I love, and again, just adds to that anti-aging benefit of the routine. Now, to finish my routine, I'm going to go in with this, the Mad About Skin Moisturiser. Again, I find it just layers really, really well to give that extra hydration, kind of lock everything in because it's blended with some beautiful facial oils. And then I'll do my SPF application off camera because I am going out and about today and I want to make sure I get all the areas covered, which isn't the easiest on camera. I apply this across the skin. Again, there's no pilling, there's no peeling, and it works beautifully well with those peptides to just give you like maximum anti-aging benefit and a really nice plump skin. That's it. A little SPF, I might do a little light concealer work on some of the zits that I have, and then I'm good to go out of the door. Overall, I would definitely recommend you check out this hack. For me, it's been like the #1 anti-aging thing that I just can't be without in my skincare routine now. It's super affordable. Like I said, used together, less than $15. It's also really easy to apply. I find that each of those bottles kind of lasts like a month and a half, which is a really nice amount of product for the price that you're paying. I use this hack every single morning. You can use it morning and evening. It all comes down to personal preference, but I find that you get the very best results if you use it on a morning, just to give you that maximum like glow up, juicy, plump skin for the day. Not only do you get that quick fix, but like I said, you will see some long-term benefits in terms of extra hydration, some nice collagen boosting benefits as well, and I find that using these two together is just the right balance. A lot of the eagle-eyed amongst you out there will say, well, these two products, the Matrixyl and the Argireline, are actually used together in the Ordinary buffet, so why don't you just buy that product? I hear you, and if you want to keep it super simple, you absolutely could do that. However, for me, the reason I don't do that is you actually get a higher concentration of each of these peptides if you buy them separately and then mix them together, rather than using it in the buffet, which has a lower concentration of both. Like I say, if you do want to keep it super simple, you could just reach for the Ordinary buffet, but I just find you get better results buying them separately. Also, the buffet contains castor oil, which I do find slightly problematic on my acne-prone skin, whereas again, used individually, these don't. So for me, this is just take the time, buy them separately and combine them in the palm of your hand, and I feel you just get better outcomes and enhanced performance. I would love to know what your own experiences with this combination is, so like I say, sound off in the comment section below. And I want to get the message out there. There are so many people missing out on this fantastic anti-aging hack. One way you can help me spread the message is by reaching down and give this video a thumbs up and a like. You've made it this far, and if you've enjoyed this video, hopefully you will reward it with that approval and a big thumbs up, because that'll encourage YouTube to distribute it to a wider audience, and I'd love for this video to be as popular as the original one, because this kind of covers everything, gone full circle with how to apply this fantastic hack. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.